There are tons of reviews out there already for this figure, but I'll throw my own 2 cents anyway. Does an action figure need a ton of accessories to be enjoyable when it already has a lot of detail? Join me on this review and let's talk about SH Figuarts Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara, first appeared in Marvel Comics in 1997, and his story is set in the future. The comics is action-packed with one fight scene and villain after another, and with new characters introduced every issue. Spider-Man 2099 recently appeared as one of the main characters in the animated film Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. This SH Figuarts Spider-Man 2099 action figure is based on his appearance from that movie. This action figure came in a solid cardboard box designed for shipping. I love the bright colors with blue and red just popping straight at you. Inside the box is a card insert which can also be used as a backdrop. There's also an instruction sheet for connecting the accessories and swapping out the parts. Out of the box, it feels top-heavy but a bit light overall. The joints seem tight and it smells like fresh plastic, which is how new action figures should smell like. Spider-Man 2099's proportions were taken out of the Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse animated film, so we're getting a tall Spidey with bulky shoulders and chest, plus a slimmer lower body. The classic red and blue in his suit are bright. The markings and patterns on his suit has a maximalist approach, and this level of detail is something we don't usually see in SH Figuarts. For the head sculpt, it looks good at the front, but a bit weird if you look from the sides. This is likely to give way for better head articulation. It's the same for the shoulders, as you can see a bit of a gap, but it doesn't actually look that bad. It will be barely noticeable when doing action poses. The arm claws are quite flexible and should not break easily, but I'll still be careful not to drop this or put pressure on them. The double joints on the elbows contribute to a streamlined silhouette. The hip joints are similar to a lot of other SH Figuarts Spider-Man. It's a design that works and should give Spider-Man 2099 a wide range of movement. The details on his thighs, legs, and feet are similar throughout the whole body, although the joints are visible on the toes and the ankles, which somewhat breaks the consistency. Overall, it looks good and stays true to the animated film version, with some paint bleeds and imperfections that would differ from figure to figure. Spider-Man 2099's head can rotate 360 degrees, move side to side, and has a bit of a neck rotation. He can look up this much and look down this much. Be careful though, as the head can pop out when moving. He can almost make a Y pose and shoulders can rotate 360 degrees. He has a nice butterfly movement on the shoulders with a bit of extra up and down motion because of this part. His biceps rotate 360 degrees with a nice elbow bend with a double joint. Hands have swivel function and has full rotation. His torso can move side to side nicely, rotates 360 degrees, and with a bit of a movement on the abdomen. He can bend forward a lot after I made modifications on the torso joint, and bend back this much. Bending forward too much shows gaps at the back though. He has nice hip articulation. Legs can go side to side this much, and forward and back this much, which is good. This part of the butt tucks in. His hips can rotate slightly, with a nice knee bend. His foot can move forward and back on the ankles, has full rotation allowing it to pivot, and has a toe bend, although mine's a bit loose. The double joints on the arms and legs and the torso articulation gives this figure a wide range of motion. Spider-Man 2099 comes with a red cape. The detail looks really nice with a semi-transparent effect. It's smooth on the surface, but with loads of detail underneath which are engraved. It has a bit of articulation where it connects to the back. He also comes with an unmasked head of Miguel O'Hara. My copy has obvious mold lines on his jaw and at both sides of his neck. The resemblance is there on the face, but I couldn't quite describe the expression. He has 2 pairs of extra hands on top of the closed fists that's already on the figure. He has fully opened hands, and a sort of claw or angry opened hands, and you can see some talons on the fingertips. That's all the hand parts we get, and at this point, I'm not sure if they're enough. This figure also comes with a multiverse jumping bracelet. There's not much detail on it, and you can see some paint bleed and sprue marks. It's quite flexible, so putting it on either hand shouldn't be a problem. There's a smaller bracelet for Ghost Spider. He has 2 red web shooters. These can be very fragile as the plastic is thin. It's flexible, but if you put a bit of pressure on it, I think it's gonna break. A small piece of blue plastic is included for taking off part of his back. To attach the cape, use the tool to take the back part off and connect the peg of the cape onto the hole at the back. Swapping parts is easy and there's no need to heat up the figure beforehand. For the head, it's a simple pop-off, pop-in from the neck part. The same way goes for accessories, as you can simply pop out the existing hand, attach the bracelet or the web shooter, and pop another hand back in. On one hand, I like the minimal approach to the accessories as it reduces clutter and allows for creativity. But the lack of extra heads and web effect parts feels a bit like an injustice, as this was an exclusive release and more expensive than the usual SH Figuarts. This is how I managed to modify the torso joint for more articulation. I've seen a lot of toy reviewers do this, so might as well try it. I simply cut the protruding parts from the torso joint and got rid of some sprue marks. I sanded it a bit to have a smoother finish. I then reconnected the torso joint with the modified part now facing the upper torso. It did improve the torso articulation a bit, but you also risk the torso joint popping out if you bend too much. SH Figuarts Spider-Man 2099 stands at 17.8 cm, which makes him almost 7 feet tall in real life. The proportions are based on the Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse animated film. Here's how he stands with V-Toy's Red Demon Asura and Maestro Union's Blademaster Weng. Here's how he looks with Sentinel Peter B. Parker, and you can notice the size difference. They also have a different shade of red and blue. Here he is standing side by side with Figma Hemet Nettle and Figma Ronin. The comic book version of Miguel O'Hara or Spider-Man 2099 is around the same height as these two, and this should give us a rough idea on how tall the animated movie version is compared with his comic book version. And here's some other Figma to compare it with. Spider-Man 2099 is a lot taller compared to other Spider-Man figures and other figure lines, but it seems he would still blend well standing side by side with other figures. He would definitely look more in scale with larger action figure brands such as NECA and Storm Collectibles. There's a lot of detail in his suit with a combination of engraved and embossed design. The details are sharp on some parts but dull in the others. I think this has something to do with paint being thicker on some parts. There are paint bleeds here and there when you look closely, and some parts have a slightly different shade of blue than the others. Therefore, Spider-Man 2099 doesn't look and feel premium despite being a Tamashii Nation's online store exclusive. The imperfections you get are typical of SH Figuarts, although they won't be as obvious on the camera. He can do a lot of dynamic poses and can even sit with his legs crossed, which is a welcome feature. He's bigger than your usual 1:12 scale figures, but should still blend well with other lines. He's top heavy and my copy has a loose toe bend, so it can be difficult to pose him without a figure stand. The kneecaps also tend to pop off while posing. Overall, SH Figuarts Spider-Man 2099 is certainly a cool figure with a maximalist approach to detail and articulation. I'd say it's way better than the Marvel Legends version in both aspects and has more interesting proportions than the Mezco 1:12 scale version. I like the minimalist approach to accessories, but at a higher price point, it's a missed opportunity for Bandai to create a go-to Spider-Man 2099 figure. Mayfex has pre-orders up for a comic version of Spider-Man 2099, and I'm already having mixed feelings about it. So until I see that figure firsthand, this version of Spider-Man 2099 from Sony's Spiderverse would be my personal choice. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, and share. I'd greatly appreciate it. Help me build my channel by hitting subscribe and sharing my content. My name's Al, and remember to stay positive and enjoy the sun. I'll see you in the next one.